earlier rather than later. And the important deadline is February the 18th. And I think a lot of people, even active people, don't really realize how our political system works. I didn't pay much attention to it myself until 2006, when I decided I'd get involved with the Democratic Party. I've been a Democrat all my life and decided I'd try to help the party out. But I really didn't know much about the party until I got involved in it. I didn't realize that Ohio law states, that Democratic, any party, any political party that's considered so important to our democracy, that there's laws governing how they operate. They can't just be a private club, they can't just be a clique of people doing what they want. They have to abide by law. And Ohio law, in revised code, says that political parties periodically must have a reorganization meeting. The Democratic Party in Montgomery County does that every 4 years. I think the Republican Party does it every 2 years. And at this reorganization meeting, the whole party can be reconsidered. Now in Ohio, we have 88 counties, and the whole political party system is based upon a county organization, so it's a grassroots organization. There's 88 Democratic Party organizations, and there's 88 Republican Party organizations, each organized at the county level. So each county has a lot of authority in terms of choosing candidates, talking about issues, and doing all those things that political parties do. But I think sometimes we don't really understand the importance of political parties. I think we a lot of times want to degrade them and speak bad about them because they deserve to be. But they're a very important part of our whole democracy. And when we look at why we don't have good candidates, why we don't have good solutions, why we don't have creative thinking in government, a lot of it can be traced right back to our political parties who have really not done their job. And the reason they haven't done their job is because they're not operating democratically. And I didn't really know that before 2006 until I got involved in the Montgomery County Democratic Party and realized that really it's operated by a very small number of people. In Montgomery County in 2006, there was 548 precincts. Every one of those precincts had a right to be represented by a person elected during a Democratic primary who would be part of the central committee of the party and make the decisions having to do with all the things having to do with the party. And they would also, the most important meeting then is the reorganization meeting, which is the first meeting after the election. In 2006, there were only, out of those 548 precincts, there were less than 100 represented at the reorganization meeting, meaning only about 18% of Democrats in Montgomery County really were even represented. And those people that chose to got elected, a lot of times were already political figures. They were already members of, they were already elected officials, or they somehow had a patronage job. There's a lot of jobs associated with the political process where you might get a job at the Board of Elections or at the county auditor's office. There's a lot of jobs that are given politically that we might not be aware of. So you end up with a sort of a small clique of people who have a very special interest in what the party does. So we talk about special interest and we think, well, this happens in Washington or this happens because of big money or big oil or big farm or something. No, special interest is everywhere. And we are a long ways from really having what you might call a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We're a long ways away from that. I had one other chance to make a presentation to another club. It was a Kiwanis club, and I asked them the question. I gave them a piece of paper to write it down. I said, on a scale of 0 to 10, where are we in terms of really accomplishing this goal of having a government of the people, by the people, and for the people that Lincoln spoke about? Now, on a scale of 0 to 10, people said, well, we might be about at a 5. We're a long ways away from achieving that. We all realize that, and we're actually a lot farther away than what we even know, because we really don't know a whole lot of what's going on in our own government. We know that special interest and big money and big influences are calling a lot of the shots. And we are feeling helpless as individuals as to what to do. And people who want to do something, what do? You make a sign and you protest, you stand alongside the road or something. That all seems so ineffectual. A lot of people are completely abandoning the political process, and people are not voting because they basically have given up. They don't think it matters. And so simply getting people to get out to vote is not enough. What we need to do is get people involved in the political process in a real way. Now, it doesn't matter.